All right, what is going on, everybody? So, in celebration of me reaching over $20,000 in payouts for the year of 2024, all streamed live, I'm going to get on here and I decided to make this video and give you guys my top 5 tips for trading funded accounts. Absolute best 5 pieces of advice I can possibly supply to you guys if you're going to take the route of trading through prop firms. So, let's get straight into it. Coming in at topic number 1 is going to be take it slow. I cannot possibly tell you guys how many situations I've seen where traders, they get their funded account, they come in, they're excited, they're ready to go, and then they fall flat on their face and fail so quickly because they're in such a rush to do something and get that first payout, right? Now, contrary to this approach, my approach is very, very much different and is proven to be effective. And that is taking it off slow, starting out of the gate. You want to use the lowest leverage that you can use. So if you have to scale down to micros, do the micros, okay? You just gradually build up that equity in the account because let's say you get a $50,000 funded account. You don't actually have $50,000, right? You can only get, let's say on most prop firms is usually $2,000 drawdown. So you really only have room to lose $2,000. So regardless of how good and accurate your system is, you need to start out slow, scale down, do not over leverage. Okay, don't use anything more than one contract, I will say. All right, and if you have to scale down to the micros, like I said, do so. So as you gradually and slowly, with consistency, build up that equity in the account, as you keep on building it up, then and only then, I would say at least till you get to $2,000 in profit, then you can really start using, the higher end of your leverage should the probabilities within the current price action actually support that. Okay. But until then, you need to quietly and modestly build up that equity in your account, get it going every single day slowly. Don't try to get those home runs and go to social media and post the trade. Okay. Just simply aim for consistency, and that will serve you better than anything else that I can possibly tell you. So aim for consistency. Don't worry about getting home runs. Don't worry about getting that payout so quickly because by doing that, you're actually delaying the process. So every single time when you're trading these prop firms, okay, because number one, they're designed to take you out. Okay, they're designed for you to lose money. So if you play your cards correctly in the way that I'm telling you, okay, you're not going to fall victim to what everyone else does. All right. All right. So coming in for number 4 is going to be have multiple funded accounts. Have multiple accounts, and I say this while yes, if you strip it down and simplify it, really one simple funded account can be more than enough to make yourself some income. However, with that said, I'm always going to advise you once you get that first funded account to set that one aside and then go and get another one. So if it was actually skill and not luck, you should have no problem whatsoever going to get a second, third, fourth funded account, and then you look to build up your income and get those payouts. So instead of having a scarcity mindset of just, you're placing so much emphasis on you making money or not on one single account. Okay, if you lose that account, that's it. That's all you have, right? So shifting away from that and getting into an abundant mindset, having multiple funded accounts, you're not going to place so much emphasis on every single trade that you take within that one funded account. So it's just basically going to help your psychology out a lot by having multiple funded accounts, and this has served me very, very well. And then you can sift out into things like you utilize certain funded accounts for certain conditions and a funded account for another certain condition. Whatever you want to do with it and works for you. But this is absolutely a huge tip that I can give you guys is have multiple funded accounts and then you build from there. Coming in for number 3 is going to be have set profit goals daily, weekly, and monthly and stop whenever you hit them. This sounds so very simple, but I cannot stress to you guys how important this really is and how many people can actually not apply it. And it's a tough thing to hurdle around because you're battling within yourself and having to eliminate that greed factor. So if you eliminate the greed factor, it's going to open the doors for many, many great things and profitability. But whenever I'm talking about have set weekly, daily, and monthly profit objectives, I'm saying you need to aim for that consistency. So find whatever works for you. Go intraday and look for at least 5 handles on ES and 20 handles NASDAQ. You hit that and you stop, and you get that consistently, and that is more than enough. If you simplify it, strip it down to just 20 handles on the NASDAQ, 5 handles on ES, and you hit that consistently, that is more than enough to hand yourself a career if you utilize these prop firms correctly. Okay, so every single week you come into it, you write down what you want out of the week percentage wise. All right, and once you hit that, you stop. You are done. You hit that profit objective for the week and you're done. This is where most people fail because they make their money and they give it right back. Okay, so instead of just trading just to trade, just for trading's sake, right? You actually have real profit objectives. You know what you're looking for. You hit that, you're in, and then you're out, and then you're done for the week. You're leaving with your money. Coming in for number two is going to be all you really need is one singular model. So there's a lot of things thrown out there nowadays. There's a lot of concepts, a lot of models, all that stuff. You need to tune all that out and just strip it down to what works for you and what makes sense to you. And through your experience and study, you then carve out one singular model, and then you come into every single session. Do you see that model perform? If yes, then you trade it. If you don't, then you're sitting on your hands and doing nothing whatsoever. And all through that, you apply your risk management plan. So the number one tip of advice I can give you is within that model that you find, one singular model, it's all you need. You want to actually keep your trade frequency as low as possible. A lot of traders, especially newer guys, get tripped up into thinking of more trades is equal to more money, which that could not be farther from the truth. You go to any brokerage firm, you go to any prop firm, you look at the statistics and you understand that the most successful traders and the most profitable traders that are taking these payouts are the people that actually have the lowest frequency of trades. So be selective, pick your shots wisely, and demand the marketplace to be obvious. Demand it to be obvious, demand it to be clear, and tip its hand to you and to where it's actually going. And then take that trade, apply your model day in and day out, watch, rinse, and repeat, and apply sound risk management, and then you're on your way. Alright guys, so here we find ourselves here at number one, and this is going to be, it is okay to lose. It's okay to fail, it's okay to have short-term adversities, it's okay to have short-term minor setbacks, it's okay to mess up, it's okay to have that human error. You need to be more welcoming of failure and losses rather than fear them. And I say this because more times than not, the one or two trades that you take that are losses within any given day is usually not the issue that leads to long-term unprofitability. More times than not, it's actually the reaction to those initial losses that you have. And most traders are going to take those initial losses, and that's going to spiral them into doing things that they typically would not do, meaning they over leverage, they over trade, they revenge trade, all the above stuff that you can think about that's negative, that is never good in trading. That's what they're going to do following those losses. So most of unprofitability is born within the reaction to the loss that you take. So always come into a session every single day. I don't care what day it is. Always have that long-term perspective in mind. Understand that nothing is more important than the long term. So don't get caught up in short term, whether it's positive or negative. Okay? So within this long journey of trading these prop firms, once you hit those initial losses, which they're inevitable, they're going to come. You just need to know how to weather them and take those losses straight to the chin and keep moving forward and understand, okay, what are things going to be looking like after a sample set of my next 100 trades? Okay, rather than getting so caught up in 1 to 2 trades that are really so insignificant if you stack it up with the long term. So manage your risk accordingly, welcome losses and welcome failure, and take them as a simple business expense, and don't allow them to spiral you into things that are going to lead to unprofitability. The number one killer of unprofitability is the reaction to initial losses.